Courtney, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about Harper.
So there weren't anything noticeable in the beginning for Harper. She met all milestones. She had her first seizure around 13, 14 months. And, currently now, she's diagnosed with epilepsy and hyperactivity. There's some hyperactivity things that doctors are concerned about, and impulsivity.
Okay.
Along with behavioral, just trouble with behavioral issues too.
And how old is Harper now?
She's 4.5. And
you have a smile on your face. Who is Harper outside of the diagnosis?
Oh my gosh, Harper is, there's a painting on her wall, and it says something about, if you're going to do it anyway, but you're going to be in timeout later. She's very spunky, very feisty, strong-willed. She's very loving, nurturing. She loves to nurture little babies. She's very, very out there, and she keeps me on my toes. And I don't know, she's great.
That's beautiful. The diagnosis process. Can you tell me a little bit about what you had to go through? Was it clear right away what the diagnosis was?
Well, the neurologist we were working with through diagnosis, they actually suspected Dravet syndrome at first. And I didn't notice, they didn't tell me that. I saw it in documentation reading up on Harper's chart. They suspected Dravet syndrome first, which really, really was scary when I read that. But they ordered genetic testing pretty quickly. After maybe her third or fourth seizure, they ordered genetic testing. And of course it came back right away, with GABRA1. And it was pretty much, this is a gene mutation. We don't know nothing about it, but this is what Harper has. And I look back at that time and I was very, naive. I didn't, I'm like, okay, and she had her seizures under control for over a year, being on Keppra, just an anti-seizure medication. So, there wasn't much presenting for a while. And then, she had a breakthrough seizure, and it was like the gates of hell opened up, and, they didn't stop, and they kept getting worse, and they lasted longer and more intense, more frequency. And it was really scary. There was a time I didn't think she was going to make it. And then when the seizure stopped or got controlled a little bit, is really where the behavior piece started. But getting resources, the diagnosis came quickly, but after the diagnosis, it was just, you're thrown out into the water. Good luck. Hopefully you find something out there. And now that I'm a social worker, so I advocate, my role is to advocate, and I've taken all my skills in my career here now. And so I started having to do like my own resources or my own investigating. But now I find the resources, and even though we don't see our original neurologist anymore, I still send them the information. And of course, Harper's neurologist, he gets all the CURE GABA A information that they do here. Her neurologist gets all that information.
So that breakthrough seizure, if we take a step back, did they discover any reason for the change?
At the beginning, they kept saying febrile. And they were febrile seizures in the beginning. She'd always have acute, some type of acute illness or infection that was triggering the seizures, but that was when she was younger. And then the breakthrough seizure came, and I'll be honest, the neurologist really wasn't hearing me. He, in fact, even said he didn't think it was a seizure. But what had happened was when that breakthrough seizure happened, she came back with a different seizure type. what I saw in the beginning was Tonic-Clonic. When the breakthrough came back, they came back as focal, and I had never seen a focal seizure. I was used to Tonic-Clonic.
And
so.
can you explain the difference between the two for anyone that may not?
Yeah, so the Tonic-Clonic seizures are the ones that are, to me, more noticeable. It's the convulsions, the shaking, unconscious. Even with Harper, I've seen the foam coming out of the mouth, the eyes rolling in the back of the head, completely blue, cyanotic. Very, very. They can get very, very scary. And then after they did capture a seizure on EEG, and we found out that they were starting off as focal with generalized, leading into Tonic-Clonic. So they start out as focal, and now the focal seizures are very, very scary because Harper I've seen giggling, I've seen screaming in terror, I've seen communication. I ask her, what's mommy's name? And she can say Courtney, but she is going into a seizure and I know it. She's wandered away, like in the grass, just wandered off. I've seen her wander away in the grass and just sit in the grass. And if it wasn't for a mother's intuition, you wouldn't know. And then, fast forward 2-3 minutes, she's on the ground, unconscious. So it's, a very slow onset seizure. I think the EEG showed she was seizing for about 2 minutes before you could tell on the outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What has been the biggest challenge going through this process?
I don't know how Harper does it, but with every barrier, with every seizure, and she's been through so much testing and needle sticks, she bounces right back up with the most resilience and innocence. For me, personally, it's given me really bad PTSD. I feel very lonely and isolated because it's been really hard to find other families and other kiddos with the same symptoms and the rareness of it. I've given up my career. Thank you. I graduated with a master's degree in December of last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I filed disability this summer because it's been that hard. So it was really hard to see this year a rapid decline in Harper to where, like, the school district, we're redoing her ETR because it's been that much of a regression. Her first ETR was completely normal, and now she's scoring at, like, the 9th percentile in some things. We did get an official intellectual delay throughout diagnostic, along with other developmental delays. So it's been interesting as I've gotten connected with CURE GABA A, because the doctors outside of CURE GABA A don't have answers. We've gotten in CURE GABA A, and Harper is following along with what the research is saying, and it's been mind-blowing to see that.
And how did you discover CURE GABA A again?
It's actually Leah. She's in Columbus. I'm in Dayton. It was an epilepsy moms group, and I think I made a post putting Harper's gene mutation out there, and she commented and say, you need to get with CURE GABA A, and she tagged you guys, and I got with Augustina, and like within days I had the matrix and the combined brain, and sat up with appointments to meet.
So with now discovering CURE GABA A, everything that they're doing, what would you say is the value of community?
The value of community. I love to teach this because I'm a mental health therapist, but community is a need It's not a want. And I know that community is needed, especially in hard circumstances like this. Everybody needs community. Everybody needs somebody. But to find a community like this, because even normal friendships, which they'll always be there, those even kind of drift apart a little bit as you start to become a parent with a child with special needs. It's everything to me. There's been a couple moms I've talked to through Messenger and following their stories and just on Facebook, and I've been so excited to get here and actually like meet them in person, and I have, and they've hugged me, and I just feel like I finally have some friends or some people who understand.
It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for the courage of sharing your story, Harper's story. If we can close out, if there's anything else that you want to share with anyone who may be receiving this diagnosis for the first time, what would you tell them?
I know it's so hard, and I remember how much denial I think I was in when I first received the diagnosis, but that's understandable because there is no research out there. I couldn't find anything. I would tell them not to stop looking, even when it feels uncomfortable, or even if you feel vulnerable, putting yourself out there on platforms, on social media, keep trying. I'm so blessed that we came and got connected with Cure GABA A when we did, because it was at the worst time during Harper's really progressive seizures, and it was right when we needed it. But now through one of the through networking, one of the other kiddos out there, Harper has connected with one of the other kiddos out there, and myself, and then the other mom. It's a beautiful thing to see Harper have somebody that's just like her. It's been really heartwarming to see that.
It's amazing. Well, thank you for joining me today, and we wish the best for you.
Thank you.
And Harper.
Thank you. I'm so appreciative of you guys.
Thank you.